Welcome back to the Ziegler Australia Sales Training Program. Remember to work with all of the materials to drive bigger results with quicker returns. I'm the sales expert, Ray Schroeder. We at Ziegler believe and know that our ethical and proven sales techniques will enable you to be the proud salesperson at the top of your game. We're now going to talk about the 4 common mistakes that most salespeople make. The first of these mistakes is that they're introducing products and features that are not relevant to the prospect. As an organisation, you may have several, hundreds or even thousands of different products and services that are available. But what you really need to do is focus on what's important to that specific client and make sure that you're not introducing a lot of other products that they're not interested in. When you introduce too many products, you're going to start to confuse the client. You're also going to start to water down the value of the real product that they're actually looking for. When they start to weigh up the options of what's being offered to them, they'll start to think, well, that was good, but I'm not sure how these products or services fit in. So make sure that you're only introducing the products and services that are relevant to them. And with that, make sure that you're also just working on the features that are relevant to the client as well. The second most common mistake that's made by most salespeople is that they're emphasising the features and functions instead of the benefits of what their product or service will provide. With the change in buyer behaviour and the buyer maturity, people are now looking for exactly what this product or service will bring to them. Certainly when you start to look at just features and functions, they can easily go back onto the internet and do lots of comparison shopping of exactly what they're looking for, and lots of people are currently losing to the players like Google, who are providing lots of information. It's when you're able to talk the specific benefit of what that feature or function will provide to them, or what that product or service will provide to them, that you now have a real relationship with your client. This is what we call value selling. It's the value to that individual. It's what will they gain or what will they lose by not having your product or service. The third most common mistake that most salespeople make is that they're leading with products or services instead of leading with the need. When you lead with products or services, you're really commoditizing what you're actually trying to sell. You know, this is a box. Box A has this. When you start to actually discuss what the client's needs are and then relate how your product or service will help them achieve what their goal is, and again, this goes back to the value selling or the benefits of what the client will actually receive out of purchasing your product or service. Again, it's very easy to go in, oh, we've got box A, box B, box C, lots of different products and services. But the reality is you need to understand what their need is and then present a solution to that need. That way they'll understand the value. They won't be clouded by lots of different information that's not relevant to their situation. The fourth most common mistake that most salespeople make is to not pay attention to non-verbal and verbal messages. These can both be recognised through both phone sales and face-to-face sales. Some indications that someone is interested in and listening to what you are doing is that they'll lean in, they'll nod their head, they'll go, oh yes, okay. They'll actually respond to what you're saying in a positive manner. Some non-verbal messages that you may receive are no response. Big pauses, that sort of response to when you're positioning something. Some of the verbal messages may be a wee bit more obvious. They start to say, that doesn't sound quite right. I'm not sure. you really need to be able to address these non-verbal and verbal messages, and you should do so quite quickly. And understand exactly what they're not comfortable with. If they're not agreeing with what you're presenting or what you're showing them, understand why. You would normally go back and ask some more questions, understand specifically what their needs are. Get to know your client. Use your experience from other client engagements and even position what other clients found useful or valuable out of your product or service and say, would that be of interest to you? Am I on track? If you're starting to get really stumped and not sure where they're going, you can just ask them. Say, exactly what is it that you're looking for? Or what is it about this presentation, this proposal, this product that you're not comfortable with? That way you can really understand where they're at. Most salespeople, unfortunately, will see that things are getting a bit awkward. They'll rush to the close and go, oh, that didn't work out at all, and simply walk away from the sale. When the reality is, just an extra couple of questions, a wee bit of extra time. Again, this is based on a really qualified and true prospect. They would have actually made the sale. Don't leave the deal on the table. Don't walk out the door. It's going to cost you a lot more in time. It's going to cost you a lot more in effort. Close the sale. Make it a win-win situation for both you and your client. And that way, you'll close more deals. Well, the great news is you're one step closer to being a complete sales professional. Again, remember to understand the entire sales process and all the principles involved in sales. The process that we follow here at Ziglar is the trust selling process. That's trust, T-R-U-S-T. T is for think. Think about who you should be talking to. Who are your real good clients? Who are the real good contacts within those businesses that you should be talking to? And think about what information you need to have prepared before you even make that first contact. The next is R. R stands for relate. You need to be able to relate to your client, both on a personal and a professional level. This helps you get in the door and enables them to have enough trust to talk to you about what their best or most important business problems are. So next you need to be able to uncover the needs. This means be able to ask the right open questions and then be able to test and clarify those questions to ensure that you have a correct understanding of what their business and personal requirements are. Next is S for sell the solution. This means that you need to be able to handle their objections. Now they say objections are a salesperson's best friend, and it really is, because when they're objecting to what you're presenting to them, it means they are interested, they're just not quite sure. And even better, it means they're still talking to you, they haven't just walked out the door. Also, when you're selling the solution, you need to ensure that you're presenting what is important to them. What is their personal value? What is the business value you're presenting to them? I can guarantee your product or service will have lots of values that are important, but not necessarily important to the individual you're selling to. So ensure that you're only presenting what is important to that individual or to that team that you're selling to. Next is take action. This means that you do need to be able to close the sale. How do you do that? Well, you need to understand all the important factors of a qualified prospect. You need to make sure that you understand they have budget. Where is the money coming from? Who is making the decisions in the sales process? Also, do they have a real requirement to buy your product or service? Once you've tested all these, you can really close the sale. So great selling, everyone. I look forward to meeting you soon.